So while I was walking, suddenly the that cross, it fell down. So without thinking anything, I just went to that grave, took the cross, and I pushed it down. Fell down. Again, I decided that I go, and with a lot of anger and with a lot of force, I pushed the cross to the grave. So it was the cross when extremely down, almost half inside. And when the cat was aggressive, the cat was trying to tell Lamia that there is a jinn right
Kahani.
behind, and he
Oh,
has got attached to you. The jinn
oh.
was on Namia. Okay.
Hello, guys. Welcome to our podcast series, and this is the 10th episode. And today we have some guests with us, so we will be adding them up and starting the podcast with them. The the first one would be Mr. Ijaz from the Jin Chaser channel. As you all know, he is like our one of our friends who assist us in this podcast. Hi, Jas.
Hello, Asad bhai. How are you? Can you hear me
I'm
pretty
good.
good?
Yeah, yeah. Good to hear you.
Great.
So today we have a guest, Desmond, from the Instagram and YouTube channel, and we will add him up now, and we'll start with.
Hello,
Hello,
Desmond. How are you?
hello everyone. I'm fine. How are you guys doing?
I'm
Good,
great.
good.
Thank
We are
you very
good.
much.
So
Okay,
let's.
so we will start with Desmond. Like I have seen his Instagram page and the stories and the incidents he share with the viewers, and those are very much interesting and somehow related and to our channels, and I would say our genre of the the topics we select here related to the paranormal and the horror. So we would just like to know about you and how you started here on Instagram and YouTube, and what kind of stuff you share. You can share it with our viewers, and then we'll continue.
Firstly, thanks for the introduction. And so basically, my name is Desmond, and I come from India. There is a small, beautiful city called as Goa, so I belong to that. And it's been almost a year that I started my Instagram account. It's called as Des Horror Stories. I started by narrating stories from my city, from my hometown, and that's when people from all over India, they connected with me. They shared their stories. So specifically, I share stories from Goa and from the other regions as well. But my main concept is Goa horror stories. So yeah, that's how I started. And the interesting fact is that there is something which happened with me personally. That's why from childhood I'm so inclined to the horror genre. So, towards the podcast, I will be sharing my personal experience as well. But thanks for the question, and that's all about me.
Okay, okay, that's good. So we would be very much interested to know what happened with you, like the incident that you just thought to start this with the paranormal stuff on your page.
Yes. Before I tell my personal experience, I have another story that also I will be sharing. But before I even tell exactly what exactly happened to me, the basic concept of horror for me was, as growing up as a kid, I was not very religious. But yes, I used to go to church. I used to, attend all these services and prayer meetings, but I was not extremely religious. But something happened to me when I was in school, and I was maybe 8 or 9 years old, and that's when the whole concept of life changed. The whole thing related to religion changed, and that's when I started getting attracted to a lot of such paranormal incidents, stories, and the biggest thing is that I can feel and experience. So whenever I go to different places, especially a house, anyone's house, either it is a friend's house or a cousin's house or anyone's house, I can feel the negative and the positive energy. I'm not sure if it is completely related to spirits or paranormal, but yes, I do feel something. I do understand the vibe when I go to different places. So let me tell you my personal experience. It's really horrifying, and it still gives me goosebumps whenever I think about it. But anyways, so basically, the it's this story is divided into two parts. So the first part is, as I mentioned, I was not very religious, but I used to be involved in the religious activities. I used to go to the church. I was a part of the church services. So one Sunday evening, so every Sunday, we have our services, we have our prayer meetings. So one Sunday, not evening, one Sunday afternoon, this was late afternoon, we got done with everything, and there was one final meeting which was supposed to happen. And when everything got done, me and my two other friends, we came out of the church premises, and we were just waiting, and we were just chit chatting and talking about what we should do next. Suddenly, I realized that in the church premises there was no one. Normally, if it is a Sunday or if it is any day of the week, there are some people there, either come to pray or to do some other work. But that Sunday afternoon, there was no one. So suddenly, one of my friends said, "Let's go to the graveyard just for fun." We just wanted to have that thrill, that energy. So we thought, let's go to the graveyard. So now the graveyard is just connected to the church. So we decided that we will walk till the end of the graveyard. We will touch the last wall and we will come back. Now, the graveyard is constructed in such a way that right and left there are graves, and in the center there is a walking path. So, two of my friends they started walking, and I was walking right behind them. Suddenly, out of nowhere, I noticed a grave, which was, you can say, recently that person had passed away. So there was, the wet mud was there. There was a lot of flowers. There was candles, and basically in the Christian grave, there is like a stone or there is like a cross where you will able to read the person's name, the birth date, and death date. So while I was walking, suddenly the that cross it fell down. So without thinking anything, I just went to that grave, took the cross, and I pushed it down.
Mm.
And then I came back to the main walking path, and I went till the end, and I was coming back. When I was coming back, suddenly the whole weather completely changed. It started blowing to an extreme level where I started feeling cold. And then when I reached back to the same grave, that cross was again fallen. Now, I'm not sure why the cross fell, because I had put it in, I had put it with a lot of force. Maybe because of the wind, it fell down. Again, I decided that, I go and with a lot of anger and with a lot of force, I pushed the cross to the grave. So it was the cross when, extremely down, almost half inside. That was the first part of the story. Now the scary part is that when I left from the graveyard, or when I left from the church, I felt I was not the one who left alone. there was some entity, there was some heaviness in me which left. The minute I reached home, I felt sick, and after that, at least for a week, I had high fever. Before that incident, I was completely fine. I did not have any fever, I did not have cold, nothing. But the minute I reached home, I felt sick. I was completely bedridden. Desi parents, before taking you to the doctor, at least for 1 2 days, they will try to do home remedies. Nothing worked. They took me to the doctor as well. Doctor gave me high dose of medication because of that I was sleeping. But throughout the throughout that week when I was sick, I was extremely scared. I was not getting, proper sleep. I was in fear. I felt like there was something very heavy. I assumed that maybe it was, I got fever or I have cold or my body is paining. That is why this is what is happening. But later on, I realized that it was not that. So exactly after a week, now I got up from my bed. Now, if you are an individual person who's sleeping, you don't know where is what. Like you don't know where is a glass of water, or you don't know where your book is kept, or where your bag is kept, or where your toys are kept. You really don't know anything. So I really didn't know what I was doing. I just got up from my bed. I went out to the hall, and on the TV table there was the Holy Bible. Now, normally the Holy Bible is kept at one particular place, but that day, I'm not sure why, the Holy Bible was there on the TV table. I just went there and I kept my hand on the Bible and I started saying prayers. Now, before this incident, I used to go to church, I used to pray, but I used to not mean anything because I used to not understand anything. But that day, when I kept my hand on the Bible and when I started saying the prayers, I actually could feel each and every word, and I actually could feel that, my fever, all my sicknesses was just going down and down and down and down. So, this is the end of the story, but I definitely know that after this incident, I can have that feeling of, understanding if there is a positive energy or negative energy in the room. There was something which was there. So this was an experience for me where I witnessed God and the demon at the same time. I knew there was a very strong negative energy which had attached to me, but it was God's will for me to go through that. And when I actually started saying the prayers and when I actually started, reading the book, I actually could feel. Yeah, this was my first ever personal experience, which I have shared couple of times with my friends and family, but for the first time
Okay,
on
that was very interesting and scary as well. So when you feel there is a good or bad energy, so you just feel it, or have you seen something also? Like anytime you have seen
no,
something related to that?
no. So for me, I cannot see anything, but I can strongly feel.
Okay.
So, so for people who don't know, currently I am in Muscat, Oman, in the Middle East. And in December itself, I had gone to India for vacation. So in Goa, there is a particular uh, haunted house, which is like 2 hours ride from my place. So I went riding with the bike. I reached there. The house is just on the main road. I was standing the opposite side, and my friends also were there. My friends told me, "नहीं, हम लोग नहीं आ रहे. We are not coming inside. You can go inside." So I decided to just step inside just for 5 minutes. And the minute I stepped inside, I felt so heavy. I felt like, there is a very negative energy. So for me, I cannot see. It's like I have never
Okay.
seen, I've never experienced, but I can feel the negative energy. Negative and positive, both.
That I think that incident in a graveyard opened your empathic ability. From that day, now you can feel the negative energies wherever they are present, which is like uh, make you like kind of more sensitive towards these energies, which is like it is sometimes it's like uh, natural given, and sometimes these energies or these abilities built in yourself, some random incidents when happen, so
Hmm.
I think that's what happened with you. That was like a really kind of creepy incident in a graveyard.
Yeah, indeed it was. Like after that, even if I try not to think about few things, but whenever I go to a friend's house or anyone's house, immediately that feeling comes, and based on that, my mood also changes. So kabhi kabhi, it's like I'm a very happy person, but kabhi, like you feel very sad and you don't know what to do. So uh, I don't know if it is a good thing or bad thing, but
Yeah, it,
I
it
have.
comes with the both. Yeah, it comes with the both, gifts, bad and good.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's a good, because it can cautious you not to go there if there is a bad energy. It can help you to stay away from that kind of locations and protect you when the bad things comes. As you say, change your mood, energy, you get tired, you get angry and all that. That's like a negative part of it.
Yeah, that is something which I have to live with it. Can't do anything.
So is there any locations where you are right now, if you like to mention? I think that that part of the world is very very haunted because of the history. Like I lived in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, and
Hmm.
every other apartment or the building was haunted.
Hmm.
Over in Jeddah, they don't have like individual houses. People live in buildings, and they have a flats, like 20, 30 flats, and every building do have one or two flats associated with like these kind of entities. And we
Hmm.
heard so many stories as a childhood that that flat is haunted. Whoever comes and live like 3 or 4 months, 5 months, they leave, and nobody can stay in that apartment. So yeah, that region is very hot. Plus the mountains and the location of that region is very creepy. So if you have any stories associated where you live, you can share that too.
Yes, so मेरे हिसाब से the thing where I am staying right now, Muscat, Oman, it's not actually allowed to talk about it, but I am going to share a few things for the first time, because we have a lot of common friends here in Muscat, Oman. And I was also talking to Swapnil once about this. I had gone on his live stream as well, and I was talking to him as well about this. So according to the history and according to a lot of research, in the Middle East, Muscat is the land where black magic was introduced, or where black magic was first performed. And there is a place in Oman. It's called as Bala. Okay, and there is a fort called as Bala Fort as well, where they say that in one night the jinns created this fort. And to date, as per the government rule as well, after 7 in the evening you cannot enter the fort. And the fort is very big. There are all these ruins. There is all old kind of houses where the Omanis used to stay. But you can go to any other fort in Muscat, because before the Portuguese was ruling here, so there are different kinds of fort. But Bala has a small city, is extremely dangerous. Not a lot of people stay there. Only the villages and the old Omanis stay there, but not the like the tourist or the expats. They don't stay there. So Bala is one place you should Google it. You will get to know few stories. Not a lot of things are there, because the country They don't like to, do a very negative uh,
Publicity
publicity. Yeah,
about that. Yeah.
yeah. But मेरे हिसाब से that Bala is one place where jinns, jinnats are there, and there are a lot of people in the country. They practice a lot of black magic, regardless of the religion. Uh, but there is a story. Actually, I would like to share the story. So it is a bit long, but I'll try to make it short. So three parts of the story. Okay, so the first part of the story is now in Oman or in Muscat. Normally, when people want to just chill at the weekends, or they just want to just relax during winter's time, they go for barbecue, they go for fishing, because most of the time in the year it is hot. So everyone is either at home or in a mall, so they don't get a lot of chance to go out and see the mountains or see the beaches. So a lot of people during this time, they go for barbecue, they go for fishing, and they go for camping, and the weather is really nice. And some places it reaches like 4 degrees, 5 degrees. Currently, it is like 16 degrees here, so it is cool and really nice. So this is what people do at the weekends. So now coming to the second part of the story, where there are 4 to 5 couples, okay, all are husbands and wife, and there is one couple. Basically, they are from Hyderabad, India, but they were living in Muscat for very long, and this happened in somewhere 2005. So this story is shared by one of my colleagues who work with me, and she was also part of this group. So in 2005, during winter's time, there is a place called as Yiti. Okay, so Yiti is a place which is little bit outskirts of the city. So you have to drive at least 30 35 minutes, drive. And once you reach there, it is completely, surrounded by mountains, and there is a beach, and it is completely dark. And in 2005, there were no street lights, proper street lights in that area. So people use the advantage of that, and people used to go for camping, and they used to do a lot of things. So these five couples, they went around maybe 7:38, and they decided that they will see the sunrise and they will come back. So now everyone started setting up things. Someone is doing barbecue, someone is talking, someone is doing fishing. So all these five couples, someone or other is doing something. Around 9:30, 10, the first round of the barbecue food got ready, and they were all sitting near the bonfire, and they were just chit chatting, and they were discussing few things. Now suddenly, out of nowhere, now let's so the story is mainly for one couple. So let's name the man Ahmed, and the female name has Namia. So Ahmed and Namia are a couple. Okay, and so Namia and Ahmed were sitting, and they were eating something. Suddenly, a cat out of nowhere, a very small kind of cat. It was not a kitten. It was a cat, but it was very small. It came towards Namia, and it started meowing. It started like meow, meow, and in anger, it was like very aggressive in anger, but it was not coming towards Namia. It was just standing there. So everyone thought, that maybe, usko thoda khana chahiye, so let's give her food. So they were throwing some chicken pieces, they were throwing this, that, and all. But the cat was not eating. The cat was only looking at Namia, and she was only doing meow, meow, and she was very aggressive. So after a while, it got very annoying. So Ahmed, Namia's husband, Ahmed threw some stone or threw something and told the cat to go away. So now, when the cat left, after some time, they cracked some joke among all of them, and they started laughing. Now, when they were laughing, suddenly Namia also, started laughing. But the problem was that everyone's, laughed maybe for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, but Namia continued laughing. Now it's become, 30 seconds, it's become 1 minute, it's become 2 minutes, it's become 5 minutes. Namia is only laughing and laughing and laughing. So everyone was wondering that, ये joke इतना तो खास नहीं था कि that, you have to laugh for so long. So everyone got worried, like, why is she laughing? So someone asked Ahmad, is she drinking alcohol? So Ahmad said, no, we do not drink alcohol. Maybe someone must have spiked her drink because the rest of the people were drinking alcohol, but this couple was not drinking alcohol. So Ahmad tasted Namia's drink. She was just having Pepsi. So they were all confused, and now Namia started crying. There were tears started coming from her eyes, and she's telling Ahmed that I'm trying to stop, but the laugh is not stopping, and the laugh started getting creepier and creepier and creepier. So now Ahmed got worried. It's been like almost 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So they said, Namia, just sit, relax, do not worry. But something or other happened, she was stopping, again she was laughing. She was stopping, again she was laughing. And she started getting very aggressive, even though she was laughing, she was very aggressive. A lot of anger was coming out. So Ahmed thought that abhi kuch na kuch gadbad hai, we have to take her back home. So Ahmed told the rest कि boss, हम लोग निकलते, I'm taking Namia and going back home. Now, when they went home, somehow Ahmed put Namia to sleep because, anyways, they were tired. They were doing a lot of things, so they got a little bit tired and they fell off to sleep. But the next morning, when Namia woke up, again she started, laughing in a very creepy and aggressive way, and she started, uh, hitting herself on the bed. She was not listening. She was very aggressive to Ahmed, this, that, and also immediately they took her to the doctor. Now, when they took her to the doctor did all the possible tests. Everything was fine. So Ahmed is at home now. Namia is still at home, and the problem was her condition was in such a way that she was okay for a while, and again she was laughing. She was sleeping, getting up, again laughing. She was okay, and she was like in pain as well because she could not stop laughing. Then the mother told Ahmed, "See, beta, तूने सब किया. You went to the doctors. You tried to give her all the medications. Nothing is happening. अभी एक काम करो. You go to India and you go to this particular priest and you try to do some prayers. Okay, so maybe there might be something where doctors and science cannot give you an answer. Maybe prayers can give you an answer." So they said, okay, no problem. They took her to India and they took her to Hyderabad. So basically, they are from Hyderabad in India. After they going, something really shocking, which came, the whole family came to know. So now this is the third part of the story. So the third and the last part of the story is where there were two, three priests where Namia was taken to. The priest was praying over Namia and Ahmed was waiting outside. So after a lot of prayers, maybe you can say after 1 hour, 2 hours or something, the priest came out and was speaking to Ahmed. And the priest asked Ahmed, did you all go to this particular place called as Yeti? See, now the priest, he has never been to the Middle East, he has never been to Muscat, but he knows exactly what happened. So Ahmed is saying, yes, couple of weeks before, yeah, we did go. Why? What happened? Is there anything wrong with my wife? So first thing first, he asked Ahmed, "Do you remember if there was any cat who was there?" So Ahmed tried to recall, and then he said, "Yes, yes, yes. हाँ, कोई तो था. There was one cat, and the cat was very aggressive." So here's the very interesting part of the story is, and this is what even I learned from the story is that, so basically, when the cat came to Namia and when the cat was meowing and when the cat was aggressive, the cat was trying to tell Namia that there is a jinn right
behind you.
behind and he
Oh,
has got attached to you. The jinn
oh,
was on Namia. Okay, and so basically, we as humans, we cannot understand what the animals will be saying, what the cat is saying. We assume that the cat just wants food, but that's what basically the cat was trying to say, that there is someone behind you, there is a jinn behind you. So after all this incident, Ahmad asked, "Is the jinn still there attached to her?" Then the priest said, "Yes, but we will try to say prayers, we will try to do a lot of things, and we will try to get her okay." So it took couple of weeks, couple of days, couple of months for Namia to actually become okay, but she was okay with a lot of prayers and XYZ. Cut to now, they are come back to Oman and they are living a normal life. But after that incident, Namia could never actually go to work because she was physically very weak. Even though she used to eat, she used to not put on weight. She had completely, become very weak and thin, so she could not work at all. Then later on, you can say at least after 1 year or 2 years, when things started getting better, they had gone with the family just to the beach to have, some dinner kind of thing. Again, it was winter season, so they had just gone close by. It was like 5-10 minutes, and there were people sitting in different spots at the beach, and they were chilling. So now, normally Namia, she does not eat a lot of food. She used to eat very little bit. But that day she served herself. She ate, and then again after a while, Ahmed seen Namia serving a plate full of food, and it was overflowing. So Ahmed is asking Namia, "Are you okay? What happened? Why are you putting so much food? You don't even eat this much." So Namia is telling, "अरे उन लोग को खाने का है, वो लोग उधर खड़े हैं ना, उन लोग को खाने का है." सो अहमद इज सेइंग, ये कौन है, हु इज दिस पीपल? सो व्हेन अहमद लुक दैट साइड, देयर वाज नो वन. So basically Namia could also witness and also see the other side of the world, where someone, maybe it was the jinns or it was some spirits, who was asking Namia, "Give us food, give us food." Now the scary part is Namia is still alive. Okay, I did not get a chance to meet her, but yes, my colleague, she still goes and meets her once in a while. And the only problem is that again with this story also, it is very similar to my story, where now sometimes sitting with friends and family, Namia will talk to someone random who's not even there. So basically, it has opened a portal for her as well, where she can speak to jinns or spirits. We really don't know what it can be. Or maybe she is mentally not stable. We still don't know. But this is what we feel, and this is what people believe, that she can talk to people. Because if if I'm talking to Ahmad, suddenly I look to the other side on towards the wall, and I'm just having a conversation where no one is there. So we really don't know if this is something related to mental sickness, or she can actually talk to someone. But the first part of the story, where the jinn was attached to her, that is true, because the family had confirmed with my colleague, and most of them, in the community, they know that she was being possessed by a jinn. So yeah, that was a story from Muscat, Oman, which is one of the creepiest stories which I've ever heard till date.
That is creepy.
Yeah, that was maybe right.
Yeah, one more point in there, and notice that the cat can see the evil entity on her back. I
Mm.
think that is true. Like when these entities attach to you, they usually attach on your back. That's why a
Mm.
lot of people say my shoulders are heavy. If you have seen that movie, or if you remember, it's called Shutter. It's a very old movie, English movie, like a
Yes,
Shutter.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
in that movie, there is an entity always attached behind that man. Is always on on his shoulder. That was very creepy.
Sometimes we don't
Right.
realize what the animals, or sometimes we don't take the signs, that is very, very scary. We don't understand. But if good is there, then bad is also there in this world.
Yeah, the cat is very mysterious animal. They can see. these kind of entities, and they have a power to remove these kind of entities, or at least they can alarm you that these entities are around you. That's why the pharaohs, if you go and see old Egyptian pictures and stuff, like pharaohs always used to have cats, their own personal cats. So that's what they were believed, that they always love to have cats around them to protect themselves from the negative energies. So cat had a very big role in old pharaoh dynasty.
Yes, that is very true. Actually, here also in Oman, a lot of people they have cats as pets. So some believe they it can protect you from black magic as well
Yes.
and different things. And considering about black magic, especially in Oman, I have seen cases. ये कुछ बोलते हैं ना, नजर 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 is very powerful and very bad, and 99% of the cases in nazar and black magic is from your own family members or from the person who you know. No one will put black magic on a stranger.
Right.
So I've heard a lot of cases, read a lot of stories. People have told me so many things, which I feel very bad that your own family member or the person who you really know does that on you. But that is how it is.
Yeah,
Very
nazar is more dangerous than actually black magic. It's
yeah.
more powerful, and it's very hard to remove the nazar. If there is a nazar on somebody, it's very hard to remove. Yeah, magic you can remove, you can do some kind of rituals, and you can find out where all the tabizat are buried, or you can remove a jinn. But nazar is something more like it take more time to remove, and it work very fast, faster than a black magic, and it can take you to the grave. There is a hadith, like saying of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that most of the people in my, like generation after generation, they will die because of the nazar. So, so you have to be very careful with that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, very big.
Okay. Yeah, because the entities, these kind of entities, like we talk about jinns, so they basically live in like on the mountains or in the deserts, in and I think but also near the water bodies like sea or rivers also. So that might have like attached with that the
Yes,
story.
that is also there. But I've also heard that your washrooms.
Yeah,
See, every सबके घर में जिन रहते हैं. मतलब every house has a jinn,
right.
and the washroom is a place where they say the jinn resides. And if you get a very foul smell, or even after cleaning the washroom completely, you're still getting a foul smell, matlab there is a very strong presence of jinns. They say that you have to say a prayer also when you're going to the washroom, and you should never cry in the washroom. That's when the jinn will get more attached to you. Whenever you are feeling low, or whenever you are feeling extremely sad, that's when they come and they tempt you to do all wrong things. So I feel that spirits, ghosts, jinns, everything is one, but it's everywhere. Maybe it's just right now in our room as well. You never know,
Yeah,
because they can see us, but we can't see them.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, and sometimes like I think every time we talk about them, they would be around us. Like in one of our podcasts, I was in India and we were like talking about like that was a live session, I think. Just
Yes.
so not a live session, recorded session. Okay, so we edited it later on, and I didn't notice, but Yaz was
You
editing it,
see
and he noticed
the black smoke
something
came
like
out.
flew from my back. That was a like a black orb. It flew like this, and other one. So
Um,
when we like see saw it in slow motion, and it
Hmm.
was a black thing that like just flew from here. And sometimes there are some sounds that we listen while editing. Those were not there when we were talking. So I think they also listen what we are talking about them.
Yeah, they always listen, and the thing is, it's very simple. Like, if it's a very natural thing, if you talk about something specific, anything gets attracted. So if you keep talking about them, they get more attracted. That is also one thing. And वो लोग बोलते हैं ना, नाम नहीं लेना चाहिए, whatever, the jinn specific names what are there, you should never take,
Mhm.
क्योंकि they can, get attracted to you. And see, the basic concept is that, they are in this world or in this universe to just tempt us to do the wrong things.
Mhm.
And that's why sometimes, I just, even if I'm too much into horror, I'm recording, I'm reading story, I keep changing my mindset. I watch something else because I do not want to completely focus on this. Varna, even my mind will start thinking a lot of negative things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
there is a priest on YouTube, and he's also a big time exorcist, and he came many time on TV channels with the Zach Bagan, and he did a lot of investigations and everything. And he's so strict, never mention the name of any evil entities. If
Yeah.
somebody he do live sessions too, and if somebody is mentioning the name of different entities in Christianity, and he just blank out, he said, don't say these names. And I was always wonder why he's a priest and he got so much experience and he did hundreds of exorcisms, and he never liked to talk or say the name of these entities. Also, like Native Indians, Red Indians,
Hmm.
they even don't acknowledge negative energies. They don't acknowledge any satans or any devils or anything. They say no, we don't want to acknowledge them. As soon as we try to acknowledge and as soon as we try to say their names, they are present. So they always believe in like positive energies. So yeah, everybody, they have their belief or their ideas towards these things. But as far as we goes, desis in Pakistan, all day we say these names of the jinns. We made so many YouTubes and channels. We invite them all day and night. That's why there are so many horror stories come from Pakistan. Every other haunted house is haunted, and they are living everywhere, especially on the trees.
Hmm.
Okay, so I think we should end this session. Like it was a good session and nice stories and information. And we will like to invite Desmond again sometime on like an online podcast again. So thank you, Desmond. Thanks for being with us, and those were some nice stories and experience from your end. So that was really appreciable.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank
also,
you so
yeah,
much.
also share about your channel, and definitely if you do live, sure, definitely let us know. We sure definitely come and
Yeah.
share.
Yes, firstly, thank you so much for inviting me. This is first kind of podcast which I'm doing. So this is a new chapter. There's horror stories. I had an old YouTube channel which really did not work out, but this is something new, and I have just created my YouTube channel called as Des Horror Stories. From last May, I was on Instagram. Alhamdulillah, it's doing really good. But YouTube is something which I have just started. Today itself, I recorded my first episode,
Oh, great.
and hopefully, inshallah, soon I will be uploading that as well. So, thank you so much, and let's hope to do again sometime soon.
Yeah, that was really a lot of pleasure and fun and a good experience to do a podcast with you. and
Yes.
hopefully we're gonna see you again with the new horror stories and experiences. Until then, you stay safe and away from these entities.
Yes. I'll just take a photo so I can just put it on my Instagram. Just send me the Instagram handles so I can tag you guys also on Instagram.
Sure. And
Sure.
maybe Asad Bhai can send you the clips of this podcast and you can share that too.
Yes, please,
Yeah,
please.
yeah,
I would really
definitely,
love to.
definitely. That would be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just
Thank
Desmond,
you.
we are ending this podcast now.
Great.
So we'll catch you up later.
Yes,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you. Great,
Thank you.
man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Bye bye.